Right guys, I've got a little bit lower since the last video. This video is a follow-on from yesterday's where I decluttered nearly half of my wardrobe. Believe it or not, that is nearly half of my wardrobe because my wardrobe is only small. But what else am I decluttering or disowning today? It's actually quite a lot. And I know that I say this quite often, but I believe this may be the last quite big declutter that I do. I just got to thinking about everything whilst I was away. I think going to different Airbnbs and seeing what they've put in, what they think is a bare essential for people to have while they're away, really gets me thinking about how much we really need at home. The first being something that I've spoken a lot about in recent months, which is containers in the kitchen. I always question how much we really need, and I think it's very relative to the environment that you live in. For instance, eventually when I get my cabin in the woods and it may be very remote, I may really need to have quite a bit of stored food in case I get snowed in case I am sick, especially if we live alone and we've not got somebody to go out and help bring food for us. But currently I'm not. I live in a shared apartment in a small town environment where we do have small shops nearby, even if we don't have large superstores. We like to eat fresh as well, so you really don't need all this storage of dried foods, which has made me condense my kitchen even more. So lots of containers I go in. Where we used to keep a double cupboard of sort of tins and dried food for emergencies, we're not doing that anymore. It's been shrunk down to just one. Kitchen reorganisation video coming soon, like a new tour of the kitchen to show you all the final results. But right now I am going to show you all the stuff that is leaving the kitchen and that is leaving other places in the home. Let me get the stuff. So now these containers have been with me a long time. As you all probably are well aware by now, I loathe plastic. However, sometimes we get given things with other things. For instance, when we got our little mini fridge, when we moved into this apartment, these several little inserts came with it. When it stopped working, we thought, right, okay, get rid of that, but we may as well make use of these inside it, otherwise they're just going to end up in the trash on landfill, and we have reused them for quite a long time. However, because I've now reorganised the kitchen, there is just not a need for these. Now obviously I'm not even going to recycle them, I'm definitely not putting them in the rubbish. I am going to give them to charity in hopes that somebody else will definitely use them as some kind of fridge organisation or cupboard organisation or drawer organisation, because they can be reused for a lot, but we just don't need them. So they are leaving. The next thing is I acquired this stainless steel lunchbox from my mum. Now we have two ourselves, one each, my partner and I, but we acquired this from my mum. I think at some point she put us some leftovers in it and never took it, and then we kind of gained ownership of it because she never took it back. So I am going to make sure that this is returned to my mum, because it is not really even mine, but it has been in our cupboard for around 6 months. The next thing, I have got lots of these clips. There's something that I had since getting rid of lots of jars to sort of seal up the bags of pasta and rice that's left over. But they always sort of seem to come in packs of 3. We don't really need 3, so we're just keeping 2. And this one is going. Another thing, I got to thinking, why have I got 2 blenders? Which is really what this is. It's a handheld blender. I got the other blender juicer to make soups and smoothies, and all of a sudden realised that it's sort of the same as this. So I really don't need this. The other one is more practical, especially for smoothies. So this is going. I'll probably gift this to someone, because in the UK it's actually quite hard to give electricals to charity that haven't been sort of pack tested and things. So this will be gifted to a friend who I think might use it. And also another little bamboo tray. We got these originally for inserts for our cupboards to make it easy to get things in and out. Now we're not using them for that anymore. We've ended up with 3, but as there are only 2 of us, we really don't need 3. This one is just not getting used. I am going to give this to somebody. So we've got quite a lot there. Let me see what else I've got. Well, I just had to check on my battery there because I have got a lot to get through in this video. Whilst I was away, I did buy a couple of souvenirs, but they were practical souvenirs, but they are my weakness as a minimalist, and that is ceramics. Now, where I do occasionally allow a ceramic item into my life, I have to live by the one in, one out rule. Otherwise, things could really get out of hand. It is my one weakness as a minimalist. So let me show you what's going first, and then I will show you what's come in at the end of the video. Un momento. So I have already been making a little pile in the other room, but I will show you all so you can all see everything that is leaving. Now, if I bring a cup into my life, it means I have to get rid of a cup. This cup is leaving. Also, let me add that some of these cups and glasses that I get are second hand, so to limit the sort of consumerist cycle, that's one thing that I try to do. As you could say, that ceramics is definitely a hobby of mine, and occasionally what I do and what I like changes. For instance, lately, because I've been having less and less milk in my coffee, there's been less of a need, or a want I should say, to see the milk in my coffee, whereas in the past I've enjoyed a cappuccino and I've enjoyed seeing the layers. Now I'm sort of having black coffee, that really doesn't matter as much. That's going. And the same goes for the iced coffee glasses. The same goes for the espresso coffee cups. They are all leaving. This is also a little espresso coffee cup. Now, why have I got all these? Because I bought these first. There's actually 2 of these, but I can't currently find the other one in the pile in there. I got 2 of these. Now, they look like they would be very thick and not conductive of heat, but they were. They got that they were so hot that you couldn't hold them while you were drinking them, so they were pointless, useless. So I got them instead. But now, guys, you're about to see at the end of this video what I got instead and why I decided to get rid of these. But first of all, let's continue with the decluttering. What else is leaving the kitchen? What I realised whilst I was away, or more what reaffirmed, or what got reaffirmed to me whilst I was away, is that I love fresh herbs. And I realised that even at home, I will buy fresh basil, fresh coriander. I just love fresh herbs. So my herbs don't ever really get used. A lot of them had gone out of date. The only thing that really gets used in my spice rack is the spices and not the herbs. Now, I have had for the longest time 12 of these on my fridge, 6 usually being my 6 favourite herbs and 6 being my favourite spices. But I don't need the herbs because I'm going to eat fresh. So I'm now only keeping 6 for spices, and the 6 that were containing the herbs I am gifting to my mum. I've cleaned them out and put them in this little box, but these 6 are all going. Was there anything else that I plan to declutter? Let me have a look. So there was one last thing that was leaving currently, and I recorded a clip of this the day I got back from holiday because somebody came to collect it. For the longest time I had the shoe cabinet in the hallway to house our shoes, but because my partner and I decided on holiday that we barely want to have any shoes anymore, and I think we've got down to 3 or 4 pairs of shoes each, we just don't need a shoe cabinet. It's just an extra piece of furniture that we don't need. There's enough space to go in one of our underbed drawers for both our shoes, so we don't need the shoe cabinet. So here is a clip of the shoe cabinet leaving. This is me from a few days in the past, and this shoe cabinet is currently leaving. Somebody's on the way to pick it up, so off it goes. Okay, so all that being said, how much have we decluttered in total this week? I think we had about 10 things for the clothing. We've got 3 things here. I know some people like to know these figures and amounts. So 13 plus 6, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 things plus the shoe cabinet. 31 things are leaving the house or have left this week. But what has come in? What is really the gross amount of possessions that have left the home? I'm going to show you now. So let me get the cups first. Now these little things have already had some action, so they're not immaculately clean, but I decided to get a very, very little espresso cup. It's perfect for espressos, cortados. We only need one because my partner doesn't really drink them, so I have just got one. That's come in. I got one more actual tea or coffee cup. I love it. I love all the different colours. It almost matches the matcha bowls that we have. Then I got a little plate that is for little snacks, as in the afternoon when I have sort of an afternoon tea break. I will often have like a little piece of nougat or a little selection of nuts or dried berries, and it's just a lovely little thing. It's not essential, no, but I love ceramics, and I think I've decluttered enough to allow myself some kind of possession luxury. And because these are so lovely, I've even thought that when I do eventually go away travelling or emigrating, I would consider, of all the things in my home, actually attempting to wrap my ceramics carefully, leaving them with my mum, perhaps a box about this big, and eventually taking them to our new home. Otherwise it would be sort of pointless getting them, wouldn't it? And finally, this one has been being used already, but I got this as a little tea bag strainer bowl, as we have all kinds of issues with our pedal bin and access to it, and I've spoken about this before, and I often end up dripping tea bag juice all over the floor. So this is like a little strainer to put on the side, like I think people call it a tea bag stand or teaspoon rest, and you sort of put a couple of tea bags in there until you empty them out. But it's almost the exact pattern glaze as the matcha bowls. So those things have come in. What else has come in? I'm going to show you. So now the ceramic side of things, which were the souvenirs from holiday, have been shown. What else did I get while I was away? So if you saw the last video, you heard me going on about the serious mosquito problem that I had. And it really meant that I had to think about something whilst I was away. So in place of my shorts, I ended up purchasing these linen culottes. I thought they were a nice hybrid between, they sort of look like a skirt, they sort of look like shorts, they're almost trousers, they sort of come to ankle length, and I seem to mainly get bitten on my calves for some reason. So it at least covers the problem area for myself, and the majority of my legs are covered. And these go very, very small, and they will dry much easier than denim. I got that in green as well. Green, black and sort of earthy colours being the main colours of my wardrobe. So they also came in to my possessions this month. What else did I acquire whilst I was away or this month? Let me go get it. So, as I have mentioned, perhaps in the previous video, perhaps in this video, I've filmed it all in one, so it's a bit difficult for me to remember. It was my 7th year anniversary with my partner while I was away, and as well as him buying me a Fjällräven bag, he got me some little Greek earrings, or I should say rather large Greek earrings, because one thing that I've always been interested in is rocks and how they are formed as part of nature. Nowadays people sort of call it crystals, but I like to think more of it as the actual rocks from a certain place. And as far as minimalism goes, you could say it is one of the smallest things to be interested in. So for instance, this is turquoise, which is native to Greece. So I think it's quite a nice souvenir to have that's very small. And what I love about it as a minimalist is that earrings are quite a good way of jazzing up or dressing up a very, very simple outfit and making you feel a little bit more dressed up. So we have that pair, and we also have this pair, which I also absolutely love, and it will match everything in my wardrobe. So we've got this other pair of earrings which has got black agate and also some more turquoise which has a little bit more of a green tinge, and it will almost exactly match every outfit that I have, so that's brilliant. Now there are a couple of things that due to logistical filming I can't quite show you in this video, but I will tell you them all nonetheless so that you know what has come in and out of my possessions this month. Let me just put this away. So we have these 4 ceramic items, my 2 trousers and 2 earrings that have come in, but also whilst I was away I also got a belt. Because of unpacking and various things, they're currently in the other room. It's a bit of a fiasco in there, but I'm telling you nonetheless, I have got a new belt. The other one that I previously decluttered was just too wide, it had to go. I feel like this is perfect, and again, a great way to jazz up a minimalist outfit. And I also have my Fjällräven bag, which I've currently put everything away and under the bed, and it's quite awkward to get to with everything that's going away because I have lots of plans for filming this week, which I will tell you about at the end of this video. 2 last home updates. Just before I went away, I got a wooden and glass nebula. Let me show you it. Now I'm calling it a nebula, it's actually called a nebulizer, but it's basically wood and glass. And I was really quite upset when I got rid of my diffuser, you know, the ones that give off all the steam, but I had to get rid of it because our home gets, although it doesn't get damp, it gets a lot of condensation, and all the steam coming out was not helping that situation. But the great thing about a nebulizer is you just put the essential oil in, no water, and it turns it into just very, very fine steam. And there's not as much water vapour going into your environment, into the atmosphere of the home. And it's something that people can have that perhaps would be worried about the humidity levels in their home if it's a more humid environment. So I'm enjoying that for a while. Who knows if it will stick around. My mum's already got her eye on it for when I go travelling or if I get sick of it. But I'm going to enjoy it for a little while first, but that has definitely come into our home. The other thing that has not yet arrived, but I thought I may as well mention it as it's currently on its way to me, is we have 2 duvets on our bed because it is very, very cold in the UK. And I noticed the other day when I was changing the bed that the white cotton linen blend duvet cover that we have, I have had it for about 10 years. And it has seen better days. There's the odd hole occurring in it, it's completely worn. I think it is time for a new duvet set. My beige one that I've got, it's still fine. I'm thinking of changing colour slightly. I love white, but white does get dirty very easy. So we've gone for a very, very pale grey. Now it hasn't arrived yet, but fingers crossed it's okay when it gets here and I don't have to send it back. but that's again something new that has come into, or is currently on its way to coming into my home this month. So what does that mean? I had to keep track of all this. I've been tracking everything leaving and entering my home to really keep my eye on how much really does come in and out of our home. So with everything that I've shown you today and yesterday, I've had 30 things leave the home and 14 things come into the home, meaning that we have gotten rid of 16 things as a gross net amount of items that have left the home. And I think all for things that are going to be more practical, make my life more easier when travelling in the future. So I'm quite happy with how I've done that, and it's all going to leave in a sustainable way. Now, I mentioned a moment ago that I have some big filming plans, which is why I've been reorganising, cleaning up, putting things away in a way that makes everything look, as organised as possible. And that is because just before I went away, so just over a month ago, I got a lovely opportunity with Exploring Alternatives to work with them on a video. And because I went away, I wasn't able to film it straight away, but that is definitely in the pipelines now. I'll let you all know in the community section when that plans to go live over on their channel for you to watch. But it has been in the pipeline for just over a month, so it's very exciting news to be doing a video with such a big and with some very talented people behind the channel of Exploring Alternatives. So that is some good news for the channel here, SAGELIFE Minimalism. But I have been mentioning for quite a long time now that I am doing or creating a second channel. Now, that channel is going live tomorrow. Now, in the beginning, I plan to upload nearly every day. Now, that isn't sustainable long term, but obviously at the start of a channel, many people advise that that is the best thing to do. So for as long as I can, and until I start to feel that it's becoming too much, I will be uploading most days. And it's going to be a place of real creativity, a place to talk about stuff other than minimalism. As much as I love it, I want to share as much about my lifestyle, my loves and my passion. Minimalism for me is just a way of having more time to do my loves and my passions. My passions are animal welfare, art, ceramics, travel, writing. There is so much more that I want to give and want to show, and be a little bit more personal about some of my ways of thinking and life, which I don't know, we don't really get much chance to do on a minimalist channel. One of the regular bits of feedback that I get on my channel is that I talk too much because I get asked, by people quite a lot, oh, what about this, what about that? So some people want the detail and some people don't. So I have learnt to balance that slightly on this channel, but the other channel will definitely be a place where I can be more personal, because that will be the subject of the channel, sort of travel, lifestyle vlogs, but even a mouthpiece to talk about some of my real concerns and things that I care about that aren't necessarily just minimalist related. So I hope you will all enjoy that. So what is the name of the new channel, guys? The name of the new channel sounds very minimalist because it kind of is but isn't, if you know what I mean. I can't remove the fact from myself that I am a minimalist, and therefore the new channel is called Bare Necessities, because although I live with the bare necessities, I like my life to be like the lyrics of the song, Simple Bare Necessities. And if any of you have ever seen the lyrics to the song, it is about making a home even with the simple bare necessities, taking those thoughts with you, i.e. wherever I wander, wherever I roam, but then learning about what is really your home, whether it's the home in the four walls or the home of the world, with nature, with animals, and all the things that involves. So although on my logo for my new channel It will say simple bare necessities just for the, you know, the shortness. It will be bare necessities for if you search for it. I'll also try and link it down below, depending on when I get all that organised over the next couple of weeks, as I'm filming this ahead of the channel going live. But for you guys, I believe that will be tomorrow. I hope you all enjoy it. I hope to see you all over there. It would be lovely to share a different journey with you all. And, you know, it will still be evident in my videos that I'm a minimalist, but without the focus being solely on minimalism. Hopefully see you all there. Bye.